Hello Virgos, and welcome to your September reading. Already September. Okay, so I meditated on your energy and I shuffled the cards and what Spirit wanted to talk to you about this month. The first cards that came out here, I have, there's a little reflection. Temperance and the Seven of Pentacles, the Pope, and the Six of Swords. So if there is any one of you waiting for a decision from the government, from the bank, something that you've been waiting for a long time, from a university, big corp, whatever big institution. The Seven of Pentacles and the Temperance. Seven of Pentacles, this is when we're waiting, we're putting our dues, we've been putting in energies and we haven't seen any fruits. Temperance is that maturing, preparing through the events of life until we are ready to accept, to receive, to move on, to have healed and turn the page, and so on. On a concrete base-to-base level, that would be receiving an answer and then being able, Six of Swords, to move on to calmer waters. On the elements I was telling you about. If you were waiting for a bank loan for a home or anything like that. On a more spiritual level, Seven of Pentacles becomes all the energy we put into improving our life and maybe not seeing many results, finding ourselves kind of in a stagnant position of putting efforts, but I don't see anything. But through all of the events that I've been living, the different cycles, challenges, and so on, I've worked more and more on myself, and that has risen my emotional vibration, the vibration of my cups. Because you see Temperance maneuvering these cups into one another. It's like an alchemic process of purification. The Pope is discernment. The Pope is that moment where we are able, set here, Temperance, capacity to see the bigger picture. Pope, to put our discernment from that, from our spirituality, our morality, and so on, and understand that all that we see is not all that there is, that you are not limited to your experiences, that does not have to be your reality, and making it applied spirituality, being able to finish a cycle and consciously begin another one. And there we would have the Six of Swords, which is that capacity of bringing the swords, the mind, into the heart chakra, where we are reaching this serenity and peace and capacity to move on. If something was blocking you from having results in your life, the Pope is that, oh my God, okay, I understand what it is and I'm taking charge of it. With my discernment, I'm making a decision, I'm opening doors, and I'm able to move on. Under Temperance and the Seven of Pentacles, I have the High Priestess. So whatever that was, it could have been a soul lesson. It has access to, here, the High Priestess is all of our spirituality. And see, that's why there's the High Priestess and the Pope, the two counterparts. the invisible that flows into the visible, spirituality, religion, and so on. They both reflect two aspects of spiritual growth. The high priestess is ruling everything that is invisible, and the Pope, everything that is. Under the Pope, I have an Ace of Wands. So that's why it's that decision. It's that yes. So a decision that you're making yourself or that you're receiving from the outside will create this Ace of Wands, this new spark, new cycle in Wands, where your willpower will be able to be aligned into something different. So leaving what wasn't working anymore, putting you into a stagnating position, and being able to start anew. Then I have Justice. So 6 of Swords, Justice. A decision made with serenity. End of a karma. End of a situation that permits us to move forward. Some of you, it has to do with court also, but doesn't have to be court of man. It can be the justice of the universe kind of thing. We understand something and we can rebalance our situation through a decision. Under our Temperance High Priestess, the world. So there is that cycle that finishes. And then I have the Knight of Cups, allowing us to open ourselves, to follow our art, to follow what makes our heart sing. And then the Four of Wands. Everything is on the surface. Everything is clear. We can celebrate. This is like a release. A release. With that here, yes. And then bottom of the deck I have Death. So it's really the end of a situation so that you can move on to begin a new one that will be more just and more aligned with who you are. More passionate and with whom your heart will be aligned. Let's clarify this for Virgo. I call upon the divine. I call upon the light. I call upon the Holy Spirit. I call upon my guides. Help me clarify this reading for Virgos for the month of September. Okay. Temperance and the Seven of Pentacles for Virgos. Spirit. Temperance and the Seven of Pentacles. Woo! Okay. Oh, 10 of Swords. That was something that was, and the Ace of Swords. There you go, Hermit. All that temperance, what it did, it got you to the point where you were able to get that acknowledgement, not that acknowledgement, that it's like a spark of consciousness, a download that made you understand the whole reason why you weren't receiving any fruits, why you were in the Seven of Pentacles. And it is true, all that tempering of life, maturing your vibration, your emotional vibration, rising it, then that clarity was able to come. A clarity that you probably went and took inside. Virgo, that's you. The best that you are is when you are going within and finding your light. And by the way, happy birthday. I'm sorry, I forget about it. Okay, happy birthday, Virgo. So I don't know what was holding you tight and down, and 10 of Swords, like oof, you weren't able to take more than this, but you'll have this final release finally. And that is beautiful. Okay, let's look at the Pope. The Pope for Virgos. Why is the Pope here? The Hangman wanted to come around, but okay. There is the Fool. So yes, it's like finally allowing you to make that leap of faith, or to just leave everything behind and start anew. Maybe you were holding on to something before, or whatever it was, but you had to go all the way to the Ten of Swords. You had to go all the way to that realization of the price you paid staying like that, with that way of thinking, with that belief, with these kinds of expectations or whatnot. So that clarity allowed you to make a decision that released you, in a sense that you were able to start anew, but with no baggage. Two of Cups. This could be, when it comes for some of you, maybe it was a marriage, and now the time is ready that finally the decision happened and you are free. That is possible, because I have the Two of Cups here. Or it could be also that it was towards somebody that you felt very close to, but did not have access to physically, with the High Priestess. Okay, Six of Swords. But this is a general reading. Six of Swords. But in any sense, there's a release this month. Oh, that was long. Ace of Cup. Ace of Sword, bringing in an Ace of Cup. Four of Cups. Finally allowing yourself to go for what you love. This is a bit like maybe you prevented yourself from following your heart before because of XY reasons. And then your soul kept talking to you and talking to you. And through the maturing and the capacity of the third eye to see the whole picture here, Temperance, clarity came. And there you take the decision to leap and to go for it. And that's what is getting you that Ace of Cups that you couldn't see. Because in the Four of Cups here, there's three cups on the floor, and this is what, okay, this is what I know. It's been good enough for like 20 years. I can do more. But then at one point, hitting the Ten of Swords, it's like, nah, I can't take starving anymore. And now it becomes obvious what I have to do. And I'm making the decision. Pope. I'm leaping. And you will feel serene. And you will grab that cup. That's why we have the Knight of Cups here. This is part of your decision. Brand new start to receive that cup. So what was your soul talking about? Oh, okay. It was talking about, here I have the Empress, Three of Pentacles. It was talking about an inspiration. The Empress, she's got this crown of stars on her head. With the reflection, I don't know if you can see. 12 stars for the whole zodiac. Cosmic intelligence passes through the Empress. That's why she's creative, she's abundance, she's cosmic intelligence, and so on. and then she passes it to the Emperor, which will act upon it in this 3D world. So here, with the Empress and the High Priestess together, this is soul inspiration. What your soul came here to create. It's like if you finally get it. Finally get what you want to build. And that excites you like hell. Ace of Wands. Yeah. The Ace of Wands gets you out of your 7 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups. Because you probably have hit your 10 of Cups also, since you have an ace there. And that's our limit. Of course, it can be wonderful. The more conscious we are, the deeper the emotions we feel. And the way you loved at 12 and at 40 is completely different. You went through tens of cups many times. There, you're finishing a 10 of cups. Your capacity to receive, feel, and share cups with others and with your environment, with everything around you, has hit its ceiling. Especially with a 7 of Pentacles, nothing was coming out. The thing wasn't growing anymore. Maybe you were stuck somewhere where promotions were not happening, or just something that stopped growing. But that Ace of Wands and that Pope and that Fool is getting you out of there. Justice. Probably giving you the here you are again, and the 5 of Wands. Justice is the major arcana here, and we have Virgo, the Hermit again. That inner knowledge that you got. Maybe before you were all inner conflict about it, or there were conflict around you also. All your fears projected or things like that. With that discernment, with that clarity, all of the conflict, the inner conflict, the different willpowers in this case, whether they come from outside of you or within you, they are calmed down. Justice. There is one sword. There is clarity. There's not all around wills of 5 of Wands. It is the scales of balance, and it is your inner truth. The Hermit has one wand, and he walks with it. Let's look at the world. The world for Virgos. Okay, the world, Wheel of Fortune, 3 of Cups. There you go. From a very depressing, stagnating situation, finishing your cycle is actually turning the Wheel of Fortune to bring you celebration, happiness, and all of that. 6 of Cups. Because you will be in your heart chakra. That kind of, I deserve to be happy and I'm choosing it for myself. Knight of Cups. You understood. That Ace of Sword is the Ace of Sword that's with the Sphinx here that he's holding. You answered the riddle of your life. Why do I feel like that? What is that emptiness I feel inside of me? Or that, there's got to be more. There, you answered. Yes, that thing inside of you that you wanted to create, it is time, divine timing. And there you are again. It is you that are moving forward with your cup. This is something that you wanted to do. It will, that new wand here, creates a new path in front of you, that passion, that like, yes, I can do that, and you are going to take that new path. Four of Wands. So it's like a big decision. A big decision to follow your heart. And at the same time, that decision is like a release. Like an exhale. I feel like if it's a decision you're making yourself, even like when we wait for a decision, and as soon as we start, oh my God, before so much pressure. And then as soon as we start, even if we haven't accomplished anything yet, there's this release that happens and this gain of energy. Oh well, there we have the Lovers and the Devil together. From being restrained, from being in our shadow, from removing our own power to manifest our life, but accepting conditions just because we can survive in it, to being aligned with our higher self, with the divine, and manifesting at that level. Our consciousness being risen, our abundance being fruitful. That is what is all on the surface. This is what, through that decision, King of Swords, you are bringing forward. This is the transformation happening from the Devil to the Lovers. And these two cards are very similar in usually their depictions, because you have the angel, the devil, the man and the woman together. On the Devil, the woman only has a grape of raisins because her abundance is survival mode, and the pleasures will be maybe carnal, but there's no higher pleasures. And the man, well, he looks at the woman's genitals and that's it. And he only has like one flame of consciousness, fight or flight. That's our masculine. He just wants to survive under the Devil. Under the Lovers, he wants to grow, accomplish, and be abundant. It's completely different. So there you go, Virgo. A big release, decision, and movement forward. So new start. A release and a new start. But the decision factor is very key point though. I'll write big decision, because whether it is a decision you've been waiting outside of you or that you have to do within yourself, and even if you are waiting for a decision outside of you, let's say from the government, from the bank, from the whatever institution, you have to make that decision within yourself also, so they can match. If there's a part of you that doubts and that is willing to remain under his shadow, then the institution's going to follow up in the same way. This is probably the part of the understanding that you have about, it's all about a state of being and a choice, an inner choice. Then it will be matched on the outside. So anyway, Virgo, happy birthday again. If you want a private reading, the description is below. There's an email to write to me. Thank you for sharing, commenting, subscribe please to make the channel grow. Thank you for the ones of you that gave donations. On the new moon, full moon, I do a little ceremony to give you back, and we have a full moon right in the beginning of the month. The second or third depends, 1, 2, 3, depends on where you are in the world. And it is going to be full moon, that is, I think in Pisces. Yes. And it's a very good moon for healing and releasing. And I think this is what you're going to do. Maybe that decision is going to be right at that full moon. It's accumulation of a process that you've been going through. Anyway, I'm going to send you all my love and light. And I'll see you next month. All right?